Hi guys. I've been wanting to do like YouTube videos about art and stuff for a while, but I was kind of like, that's just like gonna be a lot of work, like I don't have time for it. But then I realized that I could just like not put a lot of work into it and then it wouldn't take that much time. So this is just gonna be me rambling at the camera for a while. Um, so like the main work that I do is like freelance illustration work. So I do that digitally, and I do stuff for like clients and stuff. And I don't post a lot of that stuff that I work on because well, like some of it is under NDA, and some of it like I can't post it until it comes out, and then by the time it comes out, I like forget about it or I don't like it anymore. Or some of it's just like not in my regular style, so I just like don't post it. Um, but I do that for like my main source of income, and then sometimes I draw fan art, and sometimes like once in a blue moon I get time to do like original art, like portfolio pieces and stuff, and that's my favorite kind of art to do. But when I'm not like working, a lot of the time I'll do like more just crafty stuff, because when I'm working I'm like sitting from the computer for long hours, it's like I get tired of staring at screens and like staying in the same positions, but I still like doing art in my free time. So a lot of the like stuff I do for fun is like traditional stuff. And I'm not very good at doing like traditional physical art because I'm just really impatient, and with that kind of thing you have to have like a lot of patience, and you have to go through it step by step, and you gotta like make mistakes and figure out where you went wrong and like do all that stuff. And so that it can be frustrating for me because I'm used to digital where you can just like go undo, redo, like edit however you want. But I also think it's good for me to be able to like slow down and like touch stuff. um, so I think today I'm just going to talk about like different printing stuff that I've done. Some stuff that I like to do for fun and just for me is like um, altering like fashion related stuff and like printing on clothes, because I like having cool clothes without having to pay a lot of money for them. Um, so I have three types of printing here that I'm going to show you, and this is just like a disclaimer that I'm not like an expert at any of these techniques. So like if you want to actually learn how to do these things, then it would probably like go on YouTube. There's a million tutorials of like people who have like do these things a lot and know how to do them probably better than me. But I think when I posted my cyanotype, like people seemed to be interested in what the process was and how they can do that themselves. So I want to talk about it. So the first one that I'm going to show you guys is called block printing or linocut. So this is where you get a block of either like rubber or linoleum, and you get a stamp carving tool. I don't have it with me because my roommate is actually using it right now, but it's basically like it has like a red handle, and it has like little metal bits that you attach for different sizes, and you like scrape out the metal or the linoleum or the rubber to make a design. So like this is a rubber stamp. It's like a star design. It's very flexible. So the rubber is a lot softer, so it's easier to carve, but it's also kind of harder because it like wiggles around when you try to carve it. But yeah, that I think is better probably for more simple designs. This is linoleum, so it's like hard. This is a little bit harder on the wrist, but you can get kind of finer detail in it, and like I think smoother lines kind of. So that's the design. So basically you get out some ink and you roll the ink on it and you just print it onto paper, so it's super easy. It's just a stamp. So these are some of, I start with like paper tests usually. So you can see like, where'd that one go? There we go. Like when it starts out, that one obviously didn't turn out, but as I get more comfortable with like the amount of ink to use, they start to look better. So that's why I always test on paper first, and also I can see if there are any little parts that like I haven't cut out all the way. So this is the shirt that I printed on. I actually really like this shirt. I got it from the thrift store, but it's just like a really nice like boxy cut. That's how the design turned out. It's like pretty distressed looking, which I actually don't mind. I think that that's kind of the fun of like using mediums like this, where even if it looks distressed, it's like, oh, maybe that was like on purpose. It wasn't, but like it could be. I think the reason that it looks kind of like that, like not very like solid like this, is that I used screen printing fabric ink instead of block printing fabric ink, because that's just what I had. I have block printing ink now, but if you're gonna print on fabric, make sure you use like actual fabric ink, and then you have to iron it to set it, or put it in the dryer to like heat set it. But yeah, that's how it turned out. I might sell this one, or I might actually just keep it for myself because I like it. So the next technique is screen printing. So that's this thing. This is a picture frame that I got from the thrift store also. But the screen and all the supplies and stuff I bought from Blick, I think. So this one is like a little bit more difficult, but it's a little easier to get like more of a detailed image, and if you like draw the image first digitally, it's easier to like transfer it to this kind of thing. So basically you stretch the screen over any kind of frame, and you get the what's it called, photo emulsion, which is the like screen printing goop, and you throw some goop on there, and you use like a squeegee, or I think I just use a credit card for this because it's kind of smaller, and you get it all like flat and smooth on the screen, and then you put it in a dark place to dry, and then you print out your design onto like black on transparent paper, and then you take like either I have a special light for it, but you can also just expose it under the sun, and you might have to do some tests to like figure out how long to expose it and stuff. But basically what it does is the sun or the light will harden any part it touches because it's like sensitive to the light. So any part that hardened is going to stay, and anything that is underneath the black ink is going to get washed out. So yeah, once it's like exposed, you can just take it in the bathtub and wash all that stuff out, and then it leaves like this transparent screen design that you can basically just slap some ink on there, and then again use a credit card and like push it through onto the paper like that. And then so these are some of the tests that I did as I was trying to figure out the correct exposure. I kind of did like different times for it and everything. This is the final paper test that I decided I liked. It's not perfect. My problem was that when I put the transparent black and white like paper underneath the light, is the light started to like warp it, and so some of the detail was a little bit lost in there, but I was like, it's fine, I'm sick of doing this. So I don't know, if I tried it again, I think I'd probably put like glass on top to prevent the paper from warping. But at the time I was like, I'm just gonna go for it. So I printed on this tank top, again from the thrift store. So you can see like kind of in the areas where the of the frame where like some of it is more exposed and some is like kind of wonky looking, but yeah, that's the, there's also supposed to be like tiny bit of teeth showing like in her lips, and I've been thinking of using a little paintbrush to just make a little dot there, but I'm scared too because if I mess it up it'll look really weird. So yeah, I haven't decided if I'm gonna try and sell this one or not, but we'll see. Alright, oh yeah, here's another block printing I forgot to show you guys. I did some more of the block printing ones. This one's a dandelion. I kind of messed it up, so like I had this much of it and then it had different looking roots, but I didn't like it, so I cut off the roots and I like carved them out of a different stamp. Okay, sorry, my phone ran out of storage, so I had to like delete some apps, and I also realized it was kind of a weird angle, so you're being propped up by a raisin container and 5 books right now. But yeah, what was I talking about? Block printing. So here's this dandelion on this like kitchen towel. And then these are some jeans that I got. This was the original reason I did a bunch of those stamps, was because I like wearing ripped jeans a lot, but in the winter it gets really cold, so I want jeans that were like still interesting but not cold. So I got these black jeans, also from the thrift store, that I like, and then I wanted to like print some stuff on these. These ones I don't love how they turned out. Like, it looks alright in the camera, but what happened was when I printed it on there, it was very light against the denim, and so I basically had to go over all of that with the paintbrush, and it just turned out like just kind of fuzzy and not amazing looking, and it kind of defeats the purpose of block printing if I have to paint it all over by hand anyway. But yeah, I don't know, maybe if I used actual block printing ink as opposed to screen printing ink, it would have worked better. But my original plan was to have this screen design go on like above the knee here. It was gonna be real cute, but I don't know. I might still try and work on it. This was also before I like changed the dandelion design, so I might even add the roots here that I did for the other one. So yeah, and then the last one that I have to show you guys is the cyanotype. That one I think is probably the easiest out of all of them. Block printing is pretty easy, but it takes a while. But it's like this is all you need. It's basically like people do it with kids. It's pretty easy, and it's non-toxic and everything. So basically, you mix these two chemicals together, equal parts, and you get a paintbrush and you paint like a piece of paper or a piece of fabric, and then you get something to put on top of it. So like in these ones I use plants. These didn't turn out amazing. There was also a photo in here, but I'll tell you how to do that in a sec. But basically you like put stuff on top of it, and then you put like a piece of glass or something on top to keep it all together, and then you expose it in the sun for like I think between 5 minutes and half an hour depending on the condition. I wish I remembered how long the screen printing took. I think that was like 12 minutes or something like that, but I didn't write it down like a fool, so I don't know. But so that's how you do that kind. Oh, and you have to use like watercolor paper, because once it's done exposing, you have to take it inside and like wash it in water, so that it looks like this. So anything that was covered will be white, and anything that was uncovered will be like tinted blue. So when you're preparing this stuff and when you're preparing the screen printing, you have to do it all in the dark, otherwise it'll get exposed. Yeah, so then I moved on to printing photos. So again, I have just transparent printer paper. You can get this like anywhere. And I printed a negative of Mr. Spock here. And so you can use like an old picture frame, and you basically like put it on the paper and put some glass on top, and again expose it for like however long. And so I did a couple different tests for this. This one was overexposed because it's all blue, and I also tried to like rub it as it was developing, which was a bad idea because it just ripped the paper. So that wasn't my first try. That was 15 minutes. This was my second try. It's a little better. It's still kind of dark blue. This one was 10 minutes. And then this was the one that I liked. I think this one was, 7 minutes. So that's the amount of time I went with for the tank top that I did. So this is, oh, I got blue on my fingers. This is the final product. That's the, sorry. Sorry, this is like so low quality. Like I said, I don't want to put a lot of effort into like editing it and stuff. So this is what you get, but that's the back. It just looks kind of tie-dye. So what I did is I just like put the liquid on it, and I just kind of scrunched it up, and that's just how the back turned out. So that's kind of cool. But the front, I like actually painted it on so that it would be even. And then I had 4 of these like negative things that I put on at the same time on the shirt. So it didn't turn out, I don't know why it's like not as dark as I wanted it to be, like not as much contrast. It still looks alright, but I wanted it to be more like Spock, you know. But I think it looks cool, kind of subtle like that also. So people have asked if I am going to sell these. I think I'm probably not, because to make it like worth it with the amount of time that it would take, I would probably have to sell these for like $50 a pop, and you like can't really wash cyanotype without it fading. Like you could do like in the sink very gentle detergent, but like it'll still fade over time. And same with the screen print, but that's like at least supposed to be like, if you heat set it, like it's supposed to be pretty pretty stable. Like mine, I just throw it in the normal like hot wash with the rest of my clothes and it's fine. But yeah, so that's why I probably won't be selling these guys, but I encourage you to try it yourself, because like I said, it's pretty easy. All you need is like those chemicals, a home printer, transparent. I guess I have like a lot of this stuff already because I have a lot of random craft stuff, so maybe it's a little easier, but it's not that hard. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's it. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I might make more videos like this. I don't know if anybody will watch it, but I like listening to like people talk about art while I do art, because I think that it's like motivating. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy.